Okay, a little bit of an update on the Ford Transit high roof cargo van, travel van conversion. Some of this may be redundant. It may be on other earlier videos, but that's okay. If you haven't seen those, this is new to you. And if you have, well, there's going to be some new stuff in here too. So, making great progress on all this shiplap. Couple of tricky bits that we're getting into. So here we don't. I think what we're going to do is get some more tongue and groove, and we're going to put it here. And we got a nice piece of metal. We can use wood to metal self-tapping screws, and I think that'll be okay. We're going to shove some insulation in there. But window looks really nice. We've got certainly some trim we're going to have to do all the way around. We decided to elevate the refrigerator, maybe for obvious reasons, but if it's down here on the ground, you got to bend over to open it. At least here, easy to get in and all that sort of thing. And yes, this is a, as I'm dropping things on the ground here, this is a 12 volt and 120 volt refrigerator. Actually, everything in here, with a couple of minor exceptions, and I'll go through those, runs on 12 volt. So the MaxxAir fan, the big daddy, is actually this AC unit. It is actually a 12 volt AC unit. Most AC units run on 120. Now, we'll tell you, if you do get the 12 volt, it's a lot more expensive. But basically what we wanted this thing to do is be completely sort of self-sufficient, off-grid. And we've got 4 solar panels up on the roof. We're going to be generating 400 watts of electricity. We have 3 100 amp hour batteries that are still in the box here, you can kind of see. But we got the whole electrical setup back here. DC to DC battery charger, inverter, all that sort of thing. And so we got pretty much all the wiring roughed in. The other thing we're doing is this wire that's down here on the floor that you can see. This will connect to the vehicle's alternator, so as you're driving down the road, it will also charge the batteries. But the goal, again, is for this to be self-sufficient, operate off-grid. So what we got shiplap good here. We built a wall here. There's going to be a seat here. This is the current thinking anyway. A seat here, another seat over here. And when that table is all the way down, we're thinking we might be able to convert this into a small sleeping space as well, an extra sleeping space. Windows are great. There's going to be some upper cabinets here, probably running all the way to right on the back of the fridge. On this side, there'll be a cabinet here that houses the sink, and then a 2-burner propane, and then we got our propane heater as well for those cold months. We're probably going to build some nooks in here for additional storage, things like spices. And then I believe the plan is to build uppers basically all the way from here all the way back. So this will be the bed side, and this is going to be open to maximize headspace. Some of the tricky bits we're trying to figure out is how to fill that space, because it gaps a few inches here, and we want to maximize this from side to side so that you have maximum headroom and when you're laying down. I mean, I think if I remember, the distance, max distance is something like 74, 75 inches. So it's a little over 6 foot. So we want to try to keep that as max as we can. So that's a problem we have to solve. But we're going to be basically taking bed rails all the way across here to support the mattress. This area that is currently exposed will be the quote garage, or some people call it the basement. All of our electrical, this is pretty much how it's going to be, is mounted on this panel. See a lot of our plumbing components. We're going to have fresh water, gray water, all happening there, connected to the sink and whatnot. The toilet, you can see where it's sitting. That's probably more or less where it will be housed. We opted for a compost toilet. We have that in our Airstream. The thing I like about the compost toilet is it's pretty easy to service. You don't need to worry about any black water. You basically put peat moss inside the container, You can see this little container here. That's where the pee goes, and underneath the toilet's where the poo goes. But with peat moss, basically it's a it's a composting toilet. So all you have to do is turn a handle, and you change it every so often, and over time it just turns into dirt that you can easily dispose of however you see fit. But then you don't have to worry about black water. The gray water tank, will have a valve on it and that sort of thing, make it easy to drain, and the appropriate drainage spots for gray water as well. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Just some things that are interesting or been challenging. Some of this metal, especially above this door, is super hard. So getting self-tapping or any sort of sheet metal screws into those, or even drill bits into those, has been quite the challenge. So we got some areas here we got to figure out. We got to figure out. We're probably going to wrap this in fabric or something. I'm not really sure, but we'll figure that out. And again, here at the rear end is similar sort of challenge. We get into this area. We're probably going to have to trim that out. On the rear doors, we built some of these custom panels that you see here. What we're going to end up mounting here, and I've got it sitting here. We'll move these boxes of screws to kind of show it, but it's a tankless water heater. And so basically we're going to mount that tankless water heater here. There's going to be a shower head that either will hook or suction cup or something, and then we're going to be able to run basically a self-retractable shower curtain to give you some privacy. So the area outside the van, but just below on the ground, that's going to be kind of the shower area from that perspective. So it's coming along. We're getting to the point where we're going to be installing some cabinets here hopefully soon. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit more in-depth update on things. So appreciate your comments and your questions, and certainly if you have suggestions, please fire them away, because this is the first time we're doing this, and some things have been easier than others, but we're getting there. So thank you all for tuning in.